Sure. All right. So, in response to the jury's findings almost a year ago in the Russell Lopes lawsuit against the city of Brockton, I decided to take several courses of action simultaneously. One was to hire the Collins Center, part of the McCormick School of Public Administration at UMass Boston, to come in as a consultant. They consult with over 100 Massachusetts municipalities, and to have them not just look at the issue of hiring practices and possible discriminatory hiring practices, but actually look at our entire personnel operation from top to bottom, and to offer recommendations for changes, to identify any issues or problems that they find, and to help us look at the entire personnel function from top to bottom, including policies, practices, protocols, procedures. Simultaneously, the city solicitor retained an appellate attorney, Stan Caston, is that his name? Stan?
Leonard Caston.
Leonard Caston. Leonard Caston to handle the city's appeal that we are currently pursuing, and we did bring in different counsel to handle the appeal than the counsel that had represented the city in the original case. And then the third action that we took is we retained attorney Walter Prince and his firm, Prince Lobel, to conduct their own independent investigation, focusing on the allegation, the Lopes lawsuit of retaliation, and in addition to that, any possible misuse of code enforcement by the city as a tool for retaliation. And I specifically asked him to look for any possible misconduct by city employees that could be related to any of that. So today we're releasing the report. Walter's firm, along with Dan Tarlow, has completed their report. We're releasing it to the public today. It has been reviewed by the city solicitor. I've had an opportunity to review it, and we're releasing it to the public today. And I think the document pretty much speaks for itself. It's a very thorough, independent look at whether the city participated in retaliation against Mr. Lopes because he had appeared in the newspaper in an article critical of the city's hiring practices. And I'll let the attorneys explain their own findings, but it clearly comes to the conclusion that they just didn't find evidence of that, which I'm actually relieved. The report brings up some questions in my mind, but I think it answers a lot of questions that people have had. So that's my preface. Phil, do you want to add anything?
No, I think that covers it all. I think
okay.
And the report certainly covers everything.
So this is Attorney Walter Prince, Attorney Dan Tarlow, and they were primarily responsible for the preparation of the report. So they've agreed to join me here today to answer any questions that you may have.
Could you first just explain the conclusion of the report?
So,
Sure.
So he wants you to start at the end and work your way backwards.
Sure.
Just for our viewers on video, and then I'll go on to ask some questions.
We were asked by Mayor Carpenter to conduct an investigation. I myself and my partner Dan Tarlow conducted this particular investigation. We interviewed witnesses and we looked at documents. The question for us was whether or not there was retaliation, and if there was, who was responsible? Through the interviews and reviewing the documents, we found evidence to show that there was no retaliation. In fact, there was a history of complaints by a neighbor against Mr. Lopes that resulted in city officials going out to investigate on the day after the article appeared in the Enterprise. That in and of itself results in no evidence in my mind of a retaliatory motive. People may want to speculate, but our job is not to speculate. Our job is to follow the evidence and look at the logical conclusions that flow from the evidence. And that's what we did in this report.
All right, thank you.